Thank you, Ambassador Eisenstadt, for all of your work and for those profound words, and for your work with MEMRI, which segues nicely into our next speaker, who I'm sure all of you know, Yigal Carmon, who is both the president and founder of MEMRI and has done something truly remarkable with the building of this organization. He has also built an army against intolerance. Some of you may recall that Elie Wiesel has said that you don't sleep well when people are suffering, and as a result, he doesn't sleep much. Well, Yigal Carmon has built an organization that is spread around the world with more than a dozen researchers schooled in many languages who never sleep, and their eyes are constantly awake, looking for these signs of intolerance and shedding light on them for the entire world to see. We are deeply grateful to your work, Yigal Carmon, and we look forward to your comments.
Thank you all. As we do every year, and my focus in my words would be reporting on the status of anti-Semitism in Holocaust denial in the past year. And to that effect, what you have all in the folders, the DVD with all the material. It's huge. If you are to print it, it will be some hundreds of pages. What we will do now is the following. We will show a compilation of 12 minutes of expressions of anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial in different parts. This is just 12 minutes out of many, many hours that are all recorded on this website on memritv.org. And after we see that, I will just a few words, 5 minutes of observations regarding the year in general. So let's first see the clips. Some of it is hard to watch, but still we have all to watch it. Dynamic changes in the Middle East. The central components of anti-Semitism and the Holocaust denial in the Arab and Muslim world prevail. And these are the following. The first element, anti-Semitism rooted in the Quran and in Islamic traditions. The Jews are depicted as descendants of apes and pigs, prophet killers, including attempts by the Jews to assassinate the Prophet Muhammad, swindlers, frauds, etc. The Jews are promised punishment like was enacted against them in the Arabian Peninsula. That is the promise of the tree and the rock and the tree. And this, which may sound strange, has a deeper meaning in it, that nature itself rises against this abominable phenomenon of Jews and wishes to purge itself of them. This is a recurring motive. And of course, an element added, and that is the punishment of the Jews for their deviance that will come at the hands of the Muslims. This has begun last year. We have shown prominent figures like Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi, a most prominent figure in Sunni Islam, who talked about the fact that now the Jews will be punished at the hands of the believers, and no less than a TV show that shows actual footage from the Holocaust, and while showing all the scenes, says, next time, inshallah, at the hands of the believers. The second element is the anti-Semitism based on Western and Christian myths, like the blood libel, the use of blood, the elders, the protocols of the elders of Zion, as is well known. The third is, of course, the Holocaust denial. This year, an added element was the co-production, the cooperation, collaboration of the known French comedian Dieudonné Mbala, who, together with the Iranian regime, brought about this co-production, the anti-Semite. The good news is that we managed, by exposing it, to ban the airing of his comedy programs both in Canada and in France. The last but not least is, of course, the general demonization of the Jews, which we have seen. Now, the obvious question is whether and how the Arab Spring affects this phenomenon. And it does in two main ways. First of all, the quantity of anti-Semitic expression has lessened due to the fact that in Arab countries, other battles are raging, and they are clearly seeing other enemies in front of their eyes, and lies and lies that were promoted by the dictatorial regimes don't work that easy anymore. They see, they feel who kills them, and it's not the Jews nor Israel. It is important to mention that it is the collapsing regimes that keep carrying this message and not the rebels, even though in the rebels we have many kinds of rebels and many characteristics attached to them. The major thrust of anti-Semitism goes with the collapsing regimes. In the past, we used to see kind of an equal number of figures, religious and non-religious, that carried this message. We increasingly see, as you have seen here, a larger number of religious figures and less of non-religious. However, this has to be reserved because, considering the ascendancy of religionists in the political arena in the Middle East, this might turn to be the openly preached narratives of what is becoming the mainstream. Now, a distinction should be made between the Arab those who carry this message in the Arab world, who, when exposed, back away, deny, do many things to distance themselves from that, after being exposed, of course, while with regard to Iran, the more they are exposed, the more they go forward, and they push ahead. Exposure doesn't touch them at all. To the contrary, in fact. And the example is that which Ambassador Eisenstadt mentioned, just last month, in a UN-sponsored conference, the Vice President of Iran, Mohammad Reza Rahimi, offered his understanding of the Talmud as being behind all the drug trafficking in the world. Worth noting is this Nazi propaganda story of the 30s of Benjamin Franklin, and the focus on American Jewry per se. And according to this Nazi propaganda story, Benjamin Franklin, who they decided that he was the president, which he was not, warned America from the Jews and from their coming into America. This focus continues on and on. And the last observation is we showed the new Nazi party in Egypt. In fact, there are Nazi parties all over the Arab countries. And next year, we are going to dedicate an effort to expose this new phenomenon to you. Now, to conclude on a more optimistic note, I would like to report that as a result of the immense efforts at exposure by MEMRI and working with the main regulatory body of TV in France, which also is the body that offers recommendations to all of Europe, the CSA, Conseil de l'Audiovisuel, we managed to shut down and ban airing of anti-Semitic channels, Iranian and other. And perhaps the more important impact is that we contribute to the self-discipline exercised by Arab media, as you will see in a short video that we will present now. A spokesman